Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Robmotive. Today we are going to be reinstalling the Banks cold air intake. I had tried something else for a little bit, decided to go back to the Banks intake because frankly it is really the best. Now to do this, I've gotten the other one removed, of course. There's a few things, and it's a little bit quicker for me because I already have certain things installed, like the clamps and the filter, and I think that's about it. So one tip I'll give you: when you pull the existing out, make sure that you grab these little feet or little nubs, because sometimes they stick in the truck like you saw there, and we're going to reuse those on the Banks box here. Now to put these in, it's pretty simple. Just kind of twist a little bit, and of course doing this one-handed, you know, they go in just like that. I'll go ahead and get the other ones, see if I can do those one-handed. I think I might be able to. There we go. There, that puts those in. The other thing is the mass airflow sensor. You want to make sure you remove that from your existing unit. Be careful with it. And the way that it orients on the Banks unit, this is the tube, and it's going to go in like so, where the plug-in connector end is pointing at the filter as opposed to the other way. And I don't even think, yeah, you could put it in the other way. You don't want it pointing away from the filter. This is very important for anybody out there who's ever installed an intake and had a check engine light or something. You want to make sure you get it in the right way. And another tip I'll give you is make sure that you disconnect the negative terminal on the battery, because the mass airflow sensor, of course, is an electrical unit, and I just don't want any power flowing through there to avoid any issues. Now, as far as putting it in, it's pretty darn simple. I'm going to go ahead and insert the filter into the box right here, and then I'm going to take the whole unit and sit it in the area here where those little nubs we just put on are going to go over these little extensions, if you will. And then I'll go ahead and put the end of the tube back over the inlet here in the truck. And that's pretty much it. We'll tighten down the clamp, go ahead and mount the little cover here, and I'll show you that on the front. And then we're basically finished. Almost forgot to put the mass airflow sensor in. That would have caused me an issue. Actually, I think a lot of times that anybody rather has errors with this kind of stuff is because they simply didn't do something right. User error, like I just about did there myself. So let's go ahead and pull the screws out. Slip the mass airflow sensor in here, gently, of course. You don't want to fight it, and you shouldn't have to. And look at how smoothly that goes in. That's exactly how you want it. And then you want to tighten down the screws, but don't kill it. You just really want to kind of snug them in there, and that's about it. Okay, as I mentioned, we want to go ahead and sit the box back in with the filter over the holder, and you just want to make sure you get everything oriented correctly. And this is definitely a quicker way to do it. Of course, I already have it installed. So you can see that's how it's going to sit. I'm going to go ahead, push everything back down, and then we'll get to this front part, which is very simple to do. We've got everything mounted in. We just have the front part to put on, as well as the MAF sensor reconnect. To put this piece on, it has a lip around the edge. You just want to put it around the lip here. Pretty simple to do, and it is a nice, good fit. Really like that. Now, the little pins that we took out earlier, they look like this, and to reinstall these, you want to push them up so that the top part of this insert for the pin is above the body, if you will, like this. Now, kind of helps to roll this a little bit, to kind of squeeze the ends together. And then you want to go ahead and put them back in the holes and then push down on the center part so that it is even again. Let's see, like this, with the edge of the pin itself. So to put it in, let's pop that out a little, roll it a little bit, and then go ahead and stick it in the hole. This is why you want to roll it, so that you get these ends pushed together a little bit so that it fits back in the hole easily. Hopefully. It's not difficult. And then just push the pin until you hear that little snap. And that's it. Very simple to do. Go ahead and finish this part off. And that's it. The only thing we have left to do is the MAF sensor and then reconnect the battery. The MAF sensor plug should go right underneath. Let's see, like so. At least that's how I do it. Maybe there's more than one way to do this, but this seems like the best way to do it in my opinion. And then you just want to snap it back on to the connector. Should hear a snap like that. And that's it. Basically, the whole intake is now installed. There, let's mount that a little bit like so. Now go ahead and connect the battery. Then we'll fire it up, go for a little bit of a ride. One more thing I do want to tell you though. I chose not to put the inlet cover on, and it goes over here on the side, and the purpose of it is in case you have a snorkel, I guess. But I have found that leaving this off is going to give you more turbo sound, more turbo flutter and whir, which I really like. So we're going to leave this off on mine. If you don't like the turbo sound, go ahead and reinstall this. We're in the truck now. I wanted to give you guys a shot of the dash, full disclosure, so that you could see we're not going to have any, I guess, check engine lights or anything pop up on the dash. So let's go ahead and start her up. There you can see the dash. Nothing that's unusual popping up there. You can see the red light flash. That's me pushing on the brake. Nothing weird. So let's go for a ride, see what it's like. Okay, we're gonna get out onto the road here. I'm gonna give it some gas. I'll be quiet. I don't know if it picks it up on the camera, honestly. I think the camera, and I switched cameras so that maybe you guys can hear a little better. Eventually I'll stick a camera under the hood so that we can get the audio of what it sounds like, because I think that's the best way to do it. But I can hear it inside the cab, and I like that. Now, something else I noticed. It seems to me, maybe it's in my head, I don't know, but the truck seems to be quicker with this Banks cold air intake on it. I don't know, again, if it's a placebo or what, but it just seems to be quicker to me going down the road. It seems more responsive. And keep in mind, we do have a higher horsepower and torque number with this intake. So take that for what it's worth. The only way you'll know, of course, is to try it yourself. But there was that turbo whir again, that little flutter. I really dig that. Anyway, everything is good. Everything is fine. As you saw, there weren't and there still aren't any check engine lights or anything weird on the dash. And again, I think the key to that is to make sure that you disconnect the negative terminal on the battery and handle the MAF sensor with care, and make sure you put it in the right way, the right direction, as I showed you in the video, right? One more time, by the way, there is a discount code down below. It's 10% off over at Banks Power. Check them out. Highly recommend this intake. It is awesome. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.